Mutahar has just released one of the best apology videos ever, with engineer-level precision. In this video, we'll cover 3 key allegations against him. Then we'll break down his apology and its impact to see why it was such a PR masterpiece. Before we dive into these topics, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. As a new channel, it helps out tremendously. Although Nikandros was the first to bring up the allegations and kick off the whole drama fest, we'll be focusing on harmful opinions' coverage instead, since he dug deeper and uncovered additional details. For true understanding of the allegations, I definitely do recommend checking his videos. The first allegation we'll dive into is the one that seems to be the campaign phase of all of these allegations, and that is him claiming to be an engineer without actually being one.
Before you complain that the tidbits we'll be trolling through today are 10 years old, I'd like to remind you that that's still more recent than the pirate software-esque high school Nepo daycare Mutahar apparently still uses to big himself up as being a professional engineer with.
I was basically finishing up my, high school diploma and everything, and at the time, I worked a little computer programming job. I worked as a pen tester, you know what I mean? Like, I got into the whole thing early, I had a couple connections.
Or perhaps his claims of being an engineer come from the job he quit in 2013 to pursue film when he was 18 or 19, which is presumably the awful bank app programming job you may have heard him mention.
So, for me, I left that job. I left pen test, I left all that kind of stuff. I left a soulless career, and I jumped onto film and TV. I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer.
I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm only an engineer. Oh, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm just an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm just a fucking engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, being an engineer, I have to tell you as an engineer. I'm just a dumb engineer as an engineer. My engineer asked, but as an engineer, so I'm just a fucking dumb fucking engineer. Like, I can tell you, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, I'm an engineer. As somebody that is an engineer, as an engineer. I'm saying I'm the number one engineer as an engineer. As an engineer. Right? As an engineer, I'm just an engineer. Speaking of somebody that is an engineer, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer.
It would seem that the further he gets from being an engineer, the more of an engineer he becomes.
As Harmful Opinions points out here, not only Mutahar doesn't have an engineering degree, but he also doesn't have any work experience regarding being one as well. But he definitely does enjoy using the title's credibility to boast and further his arguments. Next allegation against Mutahar is his conflicting statements about his visit to Aokigahara Forest. You see, Mutahar actually talks about his visit to Aokigahara Forest twice. The first one being all the way back in 2015, when he was trying to flex his video editing skills to his audience. And the second time, right after Logan Paul got into a lot of trouble for filming a dead body there. In a video he made to condemn Logan Paul for it.
I go to Japan. I have work in Japan annually that I do. If you guys don't know what I do for a living, it's video editing and whatnot, and I work on production work. Now, in Japan, there is a forest called Aokigahara Forest. Now, I'm on there doing a shoot. It's sort of like a documentary-esque look into Aokigahara Forest. Me personally, I have a little bit of history to this, and the reason I'm making this video is because I've been to the same forest, Aokigahara Forest in Japan. It is a very ethereal place, a place where a lot of people die. Me visiting there at one point in my life, it is a very interesting place. I never had the entire intention to film it, never did.
Seems like Mutahar's story shifts with public sentiment. When filming there made him look capable as an experienced international filmmaker to his audience, he was fine with pushing that narrative. But after Logan Paul drama started and Mutahar decided it would be profitable for him to shit on Logan for the video, his narrative completely shifted 180. Now, I'm not saying Mutahar has changed his story because what he did was as bad as Logan Paul, or he even needed to hide it. Simply going to the same forest, which has plenty of natural beauty and history tied to it, to film a documentary has nothing to do with filming a dead body there. It seems like he shifted his narrative just to position himself on a moral high ground to be able to take more effective shots at Logan Paul. Which is a dick move, but since his target was Logan Paul, I can't really say that I have any issues with that. The last, but definitely not least, of these allegations is Mutahar using non-existent credentials to further his credibility for his audience in order to sell the product more effectively. And this time, it doesn't just stop with engineer claim as well.
Many people don't care if some guy on YouTube is saying he's an engineer, even if he really can't rightfully use that title. But he's done something a bit more than that, a bit more specific. Let's read through an old Some Ordinary Gamer's Facebook post. Out of the hundreds of videos I have made, I personally felt really proud of this one due to the methods of filming it and the finesse I put into making this one. I put finesse in everything, but this video speaks to me personally. As an engineer. Before my whole YouTube channel, I worked in the tech and cybersecurity industry. Cybersecurity industry? Ah yes, the high school job he got from having connections. You'd certainly guess that means something else from reading this, though, without that context, wouldn't you? One of my highlights was being able to test stuff like this. It makes me feel alive, knowing that I can use this YouTube channel not just to share creepypastas, but my love of tech from time to time. So what is this video he's talking about? It's an ad. Oh, just because he was sent something doesn't mean it's an ad, and it's even disclosed in the title that they sent it to him. No, it's a full-on ad. The disclosure of that fact is just hidden below the fold. Muta used his claim to be an engineer to pose as an expert while advertising for Intel.
I myself used to be an engineer before I went to the video editing route. Now, as an engineer, I played around with the latest PC parts.
Not only does he claim he was an engineer, he specifically states that his work as an engineer involved playing around with the latest PC parts. To big up Intel, the company that's sponsoring this video, he claimed to have direct expertise with parts like this. The two jobs I'm aware of him claiming to have had before he started YouTube were the high school penetration testing one and programming bank applications.
I told you guys, I'm a guy who used to code bank applications. Really boring shit.
Which one of those involved playing around with the latest processors and graphics cards? Oh, do you mean you did that in your own time while you were an engineer? But Muta, you like to brag about how little tech you had back then.
I was editing stuff on this laptop.
It is clear that Mutahar is trying to paint a picture which he is way more credible than he actually is. And he's doing it to get more money out of his audience's pocket, which is definitely a serious allegation to be made against someone. Mutahar's damage control strategy seems like it consists of two different steps. First one being privating some of his videos in order to reduce the exposure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mutahar has responded to controversy again. And again you will ask, where? He hasn't made a tweet, he hasn't posted a video. And once again I will say, exactly. This time he's dipped into his video engineering expertise and has made at least one video I cited a clip from disappear. IRL Ghost Stories, Tokyo's stalking ghost, is now private.
By not responding for a week and privating videos, not only Mutahar reduced the traction around the subject due to lack of engagement on his part, but he also limited most of the potential future problems that might arise from the same video as well. But what makes this one of the best damage control moves actually comes from the apology itself.
Now, YouTube's pretty much engineered, I would say, in their mind, it seems a pretty foolproof way of isolating kiddies from adults. Now, I use the E word over there, and I want to just start talking a little bit. I know there's been some drama, and I want to kind of address things here really quickly. So obviously, I have been calling myself an engineer, in some cases a programmer, a cybersecurity engineer, whatever you can call it. And, you know, I apparently have also been a dropout, which I don't hide. Now, obviously, me being a dropout, I don't have a degree, so I'm not a certified or licensed engineer. Now, I made a lot of videos in the past where I've taught you guys about computer safety, cybersecurity, a lot of this stuff, and I think that content stands up on its own. And I believe it actually can be used, you know, and people have learned from it, and I think that's great. Now, if you feel offended, if you feel wronged that I called myself an engineer while not being a degree-holding engineer, then for that I do apologize. And I will denigrate myself to, you know, I guess programmer or a fat Indian guy that knows a bit about computers. That's what I'll leave it at. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Now again, if you want to stick around, awesome. If you still feel wronged and this does not suffice for you, then I don't really give a fuck. Simple as that. Now, again, that being said, if anything else comes out of this, you know, whether there be some legal stuff, then I'll just let lawyers handle it and we'll call it at that. But that being said, I want to move forward, and that's pretty much the engineered response that I had to give.
The success of Mutahar's apology comes down to two things: his dismissive tone and his ability to reframe entire controversy as nothing more than a semantics issue. In doing so, he turned what could have been a damaging set of allegations into a complete nothing burger in the eyes of his viewers and even some StopTubers.
Some of you guys might disagree, but this drama is technically a nothing burger. Like, even if Mutahar is guilty on all charges, it's not like he did something criminal. He's not going to go to jail for calling himself an engineer.
Looking in the comment section of the video itself, which is pretty much in line with Westchest's take, and the change in number of subscribers, it is easy to see Mutahar's response and apology was a huge success. So when you strip it all down, Mutahar took 3 separate allegations, each with potential to cause real damage, and through calculated silence, selective risk removals, and dismissive semantics-focused apology, he reframed the entire conflict as nothing more than a simple semantic issue. In doing so, he turned what could have been a serious blow into a complete nothing burger in the eyes of his viewers and even some subscribers. That is why, whether you like him or not, this stands out as one of the best apology videos out there.